You are tuned into KRFC 88.9 FM, where we are broadcasting from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District in Old Town Fort Collins. Streaming on krfcfm.org, and you can always find the amazing videos on KRFC RadioVision on YouTube. I'm your host, Sean, today, and in the studio with me, I have AM Pleasure Assassins. Why don't you kick us off with some songs?
Thanks, Sean. This first song's called Boulder.
Done it. Hadn't even thrown in nothing. Try your own truth, full of goodwill. That brave, it's not that strong. If not goodbye, he says so long. Who could even imagine being so awful average? But what I really wanna know is a chapter 2, the greatest hustle, need more heist, it's all advice. Stuck in your head. Is there a word for having a song stuck in your head? I got permissions from high-ranking custodian. It's been cleared by the committee of topsoil days. Could even imagine? Could even imagine? Could even imagine? Could you even imagine? The tune, it changes every time the minstrel's got the microphone. Leave your message at the tone. They say my feet are worth collecting flames, and I'm feeling older today. Shake out the cramps and go away.
Thank you. This next song's called Melt. These are both off of our new record coming out May 17th. May 18th, in fact.
Sleep now in grace, defined by light. I come in peace, but I might bite. You won't get a discount on the plot, so who cares if you're a lot or not? Hold on to the edge. Hold on to the edge. Hold on.
melt, 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 melt!
That's Melt here on Live at Lunch with AM Pleasure Assassins, playing 2 new songs there, kicking off this Live at Lunch. Melt, and before that was Boulder. And those are both songs that are coming out on the new album you just mentioned before that last song. Album released May 18th, and that's 2024.
That's right.
With a CD release party at the Coast. So we'll talk more about this upcoming event / party and the album in general. But why don't we kick it off just going around the room, chatting with everybody. How's everybody doing today?
So fine.
So fine.
Nice.
Doing great.
Friday.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful Friday. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We got some caffeine in us.
There you go.
Yeah.
That we
a little
did.
Bit of breakfast. It's all coming together.
It's all good. Oh, you went crazy, ate breakfast and everything. Holy moly.
Red Eye Cat.
Oh, yeah, those are so
Oh, my
good.
Lord.
Dang. Red Eye Cat from the Alley Cat. Hey, let's talk to Jared Meyer first. You're right here. We're going to go a little clockwise action. Jared Meyer on guitar and synth and vocals, and the founding founder.
Yeah, right?
Of the foundry
founder of the foundry?
We came up with that this morning. For AM Pleasure Assassins. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Westminster, Colorado,
Okay.
so not too far away.
Yeah.
Came up here in 2007, I think, just because it was such a slammin' music scene and house show scene, and just something that I really resonated with. So
Yeah.
that brought me up here to be part of this cool community, and I've just been digging deeper and deeper ever since and loving it.
Yeah, and you started AM Pleasure Assassins in 2010.
Yeah,
So,
we've been
were
doing
you
it for a while.
What were you playing before that? Did you have any bands before that, or?
Prior to that, I was in a band called Rad Vibes.
Okay.
And we have some pretty deep ties, like in the old house show scene, just
Yeah.
like the schoolhouse and the alley house.
Okay.
Shout out to all those cats. It was
Nice.
It was a good time.
Yeah, sounds rad. Rad vibing.
They were rad.
Yeah, they were.
When was guitar your first instrument, or piano, or?
Guitar was my first real instrument. You know, I wanted to play the drums, but my parents were like, "That's going to be too much. That's going to be too loud."
What's the deal, parents?
Yeah, so I was like, well, then I want to play bass. And it's like, if you learn how to play guitar first, you'll know how to play bass. And so they were like, here's a guitar.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Nice.
I'll dig in, I'll learn it, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah. What were some of the first inspirations and songs and stuff that you played on
Oh,
guitar?
Dead Kennedys was
nice.
one of the first tunes that I brought to my guitar teacher, and I was like, I want to learn.
And then your parents were
Police
like, we
Truck
should have
or
bought him a
something."
drum set.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now he's singing all these crazy things at us. Yeah, so joke's on them.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So Dead Kennedys, were you just always kind of in the punk world, or?
Yeah, definitely. I was all about the Sex Pistols and the Dead Kennedys and the Clash for sure. They were still one of my favorites. I got to play in the Clash cover show with Justin. Actually, we both got to play a track with the Clash show in November 2022.
Is that how long ago it was?
That long ago, I think.
Dang. Okay. Yeah, a year and a half then.
Uh-huh. But it was fantastic. I would love to do that again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
super cool.
that's really cool.
Got to play one of my
Joe-
absolute favorite
that-
Clash songs, Spanish Bombs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that Joe Schicky put that on?
Yeah,
right?
he did.
He organized it. So shout out to Joe.
Yeah, shout out to
Shout out to Joe.
Put another one of those on.
Love Joe.
Heck yeah. Well, that's awesome. And so, how old were you when you started in on the punk music then?
Punk age,
Punk age.
13, 14.
Yeah. Rebellion age.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. And so, what was the impetus for AM Pleasure Assassins then once you moved up here and spent a couple years here?
The first band, Rad Vibes, just kind of broke up naturally. We all started moving in different directions, doing different things after a while, and AM Pleasure Assassins came to be because I had made a collage. I'm a big collage,
Nice.
artist, visual artist, and so made a collage in maybe 2008 or 2009 that had the name AM Pleasure Assassins kind of contained within it or built into it. And I thought that was super cool. I'm going to save that for later, write it down in my journal. And then 2 years later, when I had a new band starting to form in our basement, and it was, just kind of a housemates kind of band, and it started to come together. I was like, wait, guys,
Nice.
I have this great band name for us. So
Do you have particular places you like to source your material for when you're collaging? Or?
I'm all about the vintage Life magazines
cool,
and stuff
okay.
like that. Stuff you can get over at the flea market. Just that kind of old school analog film look, and that old print just looks really nice and inviting, and it's really easy to cut up and make something a little bit surreal.
Do you have like artwork for sale and stuff like that?
I don't have anything for sale right now, but we're all visual artists, and
nice.
we all definitely feature things in art shows here and there. So keep an eye
around
out.
town.
Yeah,
nice.
It happens.
That's really cool.
I've been talking to Wolverine Farm about making something happen, so maybe this is the one. Wolverine Farm, let's do it.
Let's do this. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jared. Appreciate it. Over on the drums, we have Lauren Jones, the drummist. As we said earlier, we came up with a couple different names or things this morning while you, Lauren and Alex, were out of the room. We started making things up for you.
Guys, I said don't do that anymore.
Lauren, how you doing today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. What about you? Where are you from originally?
Oh, originally, okay. I was born in Texas. I grew up in New Hampshire, graduated 2000. 2003, I moved to Colorado.
Okay.
So I've been here. I got my 20-year badge last year.
Nice.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, if you're here for 20 years, you're a local. But then a local told me it's actually 25 years.
25.
I was like, come on, man, stop moving the goalposts.
They're going to keep changing it. They
don't
want us to be local.
Yep, I grew up in the woods.
Nice.
And hanging out with all these skateboarders here. I'm so jealous because we had dirt roads everywhere. And it's the one thing I wish I could do. So if anybody wants to give me lessons.
You can. I started skateboarding at 41 years old.
Oh, I'm 41. Perfect.
Oh, nice. I've been doing it for 3 years
Oh,
now,
my God.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
You can do it.
I needed to hear that.
You can definitely do it. Just take it slow.
Okay. Oh, I'll get my notes out.
My 11-year-old's always like, just dropping off that thing.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, I pointed really high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll try the 2-foot first. But you can do it.
Thank you. I really needed to hear that, and I'm going to. I just need to fit some time in with all this music that I'm doing lately. It's kind of hard.
Awesome. Well, when did you start? Did you start on drums? When did you start playing music?
Yes. Well, I started on violin probably third or fourth grade for about 3 years. And then when I was 11, I got a drum set for Halloween.
That's the best.
My
ever.
family's really weird. So Christmas came along, and there was a drum kit there. I had been playing like stick and pad for a year. My drum teacher was very, very strict.
Fundamentals.
Yes, and so I did it for 1 year. Very constantly, and then a drum set appeared, and then all through middle school I joined a band called the Welk Gnomes in high school, which eventually turned into Rise. Shout out to those kids. And then we were a Grateful Dead cover band, jam band. Then I moved to Phoenix for a little while. Played in a band called Livewire there with my friend Corey, and then moved to Fort Collins. Joined a band, Peace Officer. I was their drummer for many, many years. We had a long run of lots of touring and lots of playing together, and those homies are so close to me now.
Nice.
And then I took a little break. My drums were like weirdly packed away for a couple of years, and then was at a party with Jared. I've known him for many years now, and we're like, hey, you got a drummer these days? And he kind of maybe had one at the time, but like that was 2018, and we haven't really. I've been playing constantly with these guys since, like every week, and it's just been so mind expanding.
Awesome
to be with these guys. So
it's different from, like, I love all styles of music, but it's very different from a Grateful Dead cover band. For sure.
It is.
Transition.
Wait till later.
You should see.
I'm excited.
You should see us at practice. I was like, I think summoned Bob Weir and Jerry Garcia, like some practices, and it's good to have that jam background in this band particularly.
Nice. Was that your inspiration early on? Were you just a big kind of jam band person, or what was your early inspiration in music?
I can't keep up with the jam band. I don't have enough expendable money to see jam bands. They've been a big part of my foundation for drumming for sure. That and like the jazz, like this kind of acid jazz from the 60s and 70s, or my kind of foundational stuff.
Weather Report and stuff.
Weather Report. And my drum teacher was very big on Mark Jennings. I'll send you the link, Mark Jennings. Hello. And then so like jazz and rock were really foundational there. And then once I got to Fort Collins, I got really into reggae music and
Peace Officer,
exactly. And then like it became like reggae hip hop, like dub hop we ended up calling it. So I just like the reggae and hip hop drumming is just so. I love it so much. It's so simple on some level, but on the other level, it's just
lively.
It's
uplifting.
Yes, it is exactly.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So.
Awesome. Well, that's really cool.
Yep.
Well, we're glad to have you here, Lauren Jones, on the drummist today.
Thank you.
Next in the clockwise order, we got Justin Mall on the bass.
Hello.
Back again.
I'm back again.
Yes, Justin is in Senorita sometimes as well. And so we chatted, 2-3 months ago?
Yeah, it was this year.
Yeah, it was this year.
And I was in earlier with Bev and Luna.
Oh, yeah.
band.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. That was
Right.
like two years ago. That was a
Right,
while
yes.
ago. That was one of the first ones we had with the whole kind of recording
Yeah,
setup
at the
here,
different
at
location.
At the other
too,
location, yeah.
By the library.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, well, welcome back for a third time.
Thanks.
I think Lance
Stay
Ruby
away.
is still ahead of you by a little bit.
I bet.
But
Can't catch that guy.
I'm not trying to compete with Lance Ruby's musical prowess around here.
no,
I heard he had an
madman.
apartment on the ground somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, I saw him coming out of
Yeah.
some little bomb shelter looking area. He lives right over here.
Popped open. Well, Justin on the bass today.
Yeah.
What about you? Tell us your story again. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Fort Collins.
Oh, yeah.
Still from Fort Collins.
Still.
Born and raised.
So are you a local then?
I'm a local.
Hey.
Self-classified.
And we've been reviewing Lauren's case about his. I wasn't the one that told you 25 years.
No, you weren't.
Got to get all the paperwork in.
No. In fact, you said, I don't care how long you've been here.
Yeah. I said, get out.
You're
basically.
local in my heart.
Luckily, he stayed. He didn't listen.
No.
But yeah, born and raised here. I've been doing all my music stuff basically here
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were originally, what was your original instrument?
I taught myself guitar when
Okay.
I was like 14 years old.
Yeah.
And it quickly became apparent that guitar players were everywhere and no one needed them.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
guys.
picked up bass shortly after that, and played in a couple of bands. I have played in guitar in bands since,
Yeah.
and as you mentioned,
Yeah.
Senorita sometimes as well.
Yeah.
And lately with Bev and Luna, I've been playing some synthesizer,
Nice.
and you can see that in the archives
Woohoo.
if you go and watch. When was it? Do you remember when?
KRFC RadioVision Live at Lunch.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
from, that was probably maybe a little less than 2 years ago. Because
Yeah.
it was over a year that we've been back in the Ginger and Baker studio here.
Okay, yeah.
So a year and a half. It's, I don't know, times a...
And I'm not qualified really to play synthesizer, but as a professional. But, I mean, I can make some sounds. So
Yeah, that's all you have to do sometimes.
Totally.
Sounds, fart noises, those kind of
Right.
things.
Yeah. People can't get enough of the fart noises. So.
I like the creaky door. That's my favorite one.
And the creaky
That was
doors.
special creaky door for you.
And what was your, you were, I think everybody in Bev and Luna kind of grew up on punk rock, right? Was that Senorita
from
sometimes,
my recollection,
too.
although it's kind of a rotating cast of
people there.
of players.
Yeah.
But yeah, punk rock was, I think, where I really started, where I got my the musical genesis for me.
Yeah. What were some of the early bands that you were covering on your guitar and bass?
Also Clash.
Yeah.
Then I got into really post-hardcore stuff and heavier music.
Okay.
We were just talking about the Blood Brothers,
Yeah.
the hardcore band, a moment ago, and I guess back when I started, I was really into NoFX and really faster,
Mm-hmm.
like new school punk kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Millencolin,
Nice.
fun stuff like that, and yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
When punk got pop.
Punk got pop.
Yeah, I like a little bit of pop in my punk.
Yeah. It's
Sure.
not bad.
Yeah.
That's what I hear a lot at my house because my kid.
Yeah.
And it's
Catchy
fun.
stuff.
It's fun. Gets stuck in your head.
And I
Green
guess
Day
it's making a
is so
comeback.
back. Green Day is more
They
back
are.
than
They're-
they've
they're-
ever been back.
We play their album frequently. Mm-hmm. I got it on vinyl for my kid right when
The
it
new
came
one?
out. Yeah.
Dookie's also a classic. You playing that for the kids?
At my house, yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Got to. Kerplunk.
There's probably some Dookie in the library back there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Got to pull it out every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Yeah, it's a sleeper. It's got some stuff you forget about, and then you come
Yeah.
back to it, and it's like, holy man, that's good.
Dang. Heck yeah. Well, thank you, Justin, for coming back again.
Yeah, thanks
Any
for
more
having me.
bands that you're in that you'll be back for?
Probably, but no.
Almost like
I think I'm just doing the 3 right now.
Just
it's
the 3?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I don't know
yeah.
how Lance does it. Lance,
I don't know.
Tell me your secret.
Whisper it in my ear. All right. Alex Runge over here on the guitar, and we came up with the guitar and snazzy dresser.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
You're That's what I wrote down.
Sweet. That works.
For those of you interested, you can check out
I do have
Alex's snazzy dressing.
striped shirt on
today. KRFC RadioVision on YouTube. Check it out. What about you? Where are you from?
I'm from here. Well, I was born in Greeley, but
Greeley, okay.
transferred here when I was like 2 years old. So
you've been in Fort Collins
here,
the whole time.
Moved out a few times, but came back and sticking around for now.
Where'd you move to?
Santa Fe, New Mexico, and then Seattle.
Okay.
All within like a year, a little more of themselves, and then came back here.
Couldn't stay away.
It was couldn't stay away.
It's a good scene here. We got good
great.
people. We got good music. When did you originally start playing music?
You'd never guess, but when I was like 10, probably.
Nice.
I'd
guess
it's a
that.
slow progression with the guitar.
I'm on that wavelength too.
Yeah, mostly just guitar, learning Beatles songs when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then had my punk phase.
Nice.
And then kind of stopped for a while, and then I got like a nice Taylor acoustic and was like, well, I'm gonna just start writing my own songs.
Okay.
And then kind of a buddy of mine asked to record me just on like some tape years ago.
Nice.
And then
That's
that
cool.
turned into like a 15-year project called Sketches.
Sketches. And so is anything any sketches available online for people to listen to?
We do have a Bandcamp.
Okay.
It's wreckedsketches.bandcamp.com.
Wrecked Sketches.
Yeah, Wrecked is my friend Eric's solo, more experimental noise project.
Okay,
So
cool.
we just share a Bandcamp to make it easy.
It's a lot of stuff to keep up with once you start putting
Yeah.
noises online.
So-
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what other inspirations have you had throughout your musical career? What were some punk bands or?
Music-wise, I mean, it was a weird thing in high school. My music taste was all over the place.
Yeah.
Like Tool, Modest Mouse,
Nice.
Ween, Pavement, just like
Yeah.
a bunch of everything. But once I started recording my own music, I got more into like the microphones and some more experimental like recording process type things. But still love, can't play in this band and not mention Fugazi, things like that. So,
Anything you're listening to right now on repeat?
I got into an artist named Lutalo that just played at here in town during Focomex.
Focomex, cool.
They weren't a part of Focomex, but they played.
They were,
during. So Lutalo's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, awesome. Alex Runge on the guitar and snazzy dressing. Appreciate you
much.
coming in, hanging out with us today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
We have AM Pleasure Assassins right here in the Ginger and Baker studio for Live at Lunch. Did you bring any more songs with you?
Yeah, we got a couple.
All right, why don't we hear a couple? What do you got up?
This next song's called Swweet. It's another new one off of our upcoming album, out May 18th. It will not be streaming for a while, so you're going to have to pick up the physical disc.
Awesome.
Or we'll probably have it for download. But you gotta get it. You gotta ask for it. We're not going to have it on streaming sites.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, this song's called Swweet.
Always daydreaming.
Thank you. This next song's called Wooden Sleeves. It's another new one off of the new album out May 18th.
Someday when we get old, we'll count our wrinkles like the rings on trees. Someday when we get old, they'll lay our bodies down in wooden sleeves. Someday, someday, someday. But until then, while you're my friend, I wanna give it a whirl. 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 Got a phone full of your photos and a text thread line with no notes. You come by to pick me up and we fly out of there like donuts. A stack of books I never read, 1,000 bees buzz in my head. Fighting crime, we'll just drive around instead. We'll just drive around instead. Got a phone full of your photos and a text thread line with no notes. You come by to pick me up and we fly out of there like donuts. A stack of books I never read, 1,000 bees buzz in my head. Could be fighting crime, we'll just drive around instead.
Yeah, AM Pleasure Assassins here on Live at Lunch. You're listening to KRFC 88.9 FM, or you're tuned into the KRFC RadioVision YouTube page. That last song was Wooden Sleeves, and before that we heard Swweet, and those are more new tunes from their upcoming album being released May 18th at the Coast in Fort Collins, and a full album coming out, which will only be available. They're bringing back the physical medium. So a great place to find those would probably be at that show. Oh, for reals, man. That's a good album, too. Mm-hmm. Satellite
Gotta
Pilot.
represent the mates.
Fantastic. I love those guys. Heck yeah. So, AM Pleasure Assassins, you just came out with a bunch of singles in the last 3 or 4, what is it, February, March, and April, I think you said?
Time flies.
I'm like, what month is it anymore?
Yeah, we put out the single for Melt a few months back, and that's got some really nice reception. We played that song second today. That song's going to be on the album. We released a David Bowie cover, Ashes to Ashes, and that is streaming around. That's on all available streaming sites, and that one's really fun. We've had some really good reception for that. And the B-side for that David Bowie song is a song I produced myself called Perez, and it was produced for a short film that was by, like Lunacies was doing a little short silent film deal.
Party.
Yeah, got a handful of bands in town to make the soundtrack to 10 short films last year. So I got to partake in that the last 2 years. It's been a lot of fun. And Perez is kind of a super trippy tune, a little bit deer hoofy, a little deer hoof-ish maybe is how I want to say that. And otherwise, it's pretty out there. But I suggest it's around to hear.
It's there. It's on the streaming sites, unlike the upcoming album, which we'll talk about in a minute. Hypnagogic Indie Fuzz I saw somewhere. So let's explain that a little bit to the listeners and watchers.
Hypnagogia is like that space sort of in between sleeping and waking.
Okay.
There's been, some cats, some like old school inventor cats and artist people who like they'll do this trick to kind of trigger hypnagogia, where the idea is like if you're sitting in a chair, say, and you hold like a spoon and put like a big metal dish beneath you, when you fall asleep you will probably drop the spoon and it'll clang into the thing and it'll kind of wake you up, so it keeps you from falling asleep, but you aren't, you kind of got to write down your ideas or whatever before you fully come back to wakefulness.
Yeah, all that stuff like right on the cusp that come up with all the weird
right on that
stuff.
dream state,
and then it just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened this morning. Well, I learned the craziest things here live at lunch.
Pretty crazy.
I had no idea anything like that existed. I had to look up the word, so I kind of knew what it meant. But yeah. So have you ever tried that specific attempt at writing?
I have.
Music?
I didn't drop the spoon, so I just napped in a chair. But when I do try to like write when I first wake up in the morning, because it's a good like kind of fertile time for your brain to just be throwing out ideas that are pretty unregulated, and that can be like a good harbor to come up with some interesting, creative, fresh stuff that you wouldn't have thought of midday.
Is that do you get up and try to do that every day? Are you pretty precise about that, or
I'd say most days I get 10 minutes of writing at least before I have to move on to the next task.
Yeah. Are there any other inspirations for your songwriting, lyrics, or are you a music first kind of person, or? I'm usually like I'm writing lyrics and I'm writing music, and then somewhere along the way you find the place where colliding
this
in your
song
brain
matches with these words, and then you start smashing it together.
Yeah. And do you always write on electric or on keys, or do you sit down with acoustic?
I really like writing to bass lines, but the different songs kind of start in different places. Like it really, and I think you can tell listening to the album that a lot of those songs were written in different ways. Because it lends itself to like very different songwriting styles.
Does Justin ever send you some bass lines?
Rarely.
Usually after I'm like, hey, will you play something that sounds something like this but make it better? And he's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I can. I can
totally.
Definitely make that better. Well, that's awesome. So you just a bunch of different songwriting techniques and see how it all shakes out in the end.
Definitely, yeah. And there's so many songwriting techniques out there. I'm always trying to, learn about different stuff. I'm always reading biographies and different things about artists and creators. And so there's always different methods to try out. And, I try out the ones that seem to resonate with me. And then if they work, I keep trying them.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes I feel like if you pick up an instrument that you maybe never even played before, you barely know how, like you can write a song, and it's just like it's there, and you're like, holy cow, I've never even played this. Look how good it is, and then over time you just not that it gets harder. It's just you know what you're doing, yeah. But and so similar kind of with a songwriting technique, maybe just like try it, and it might not last forever, but at least that one time something good came out of it.
For sure. Or like a new guitar pedal, suddenly it inspires a new sound, and suddenly you lock into something, and then in 2 weeks that guitar pedal might not be as inspiring, but you now have a song that you can make sound really cool with it.
Now you need to go buy another guitar pedal.
Off to the store.
Sorry, babe, gotta go buy another guitar pedal.
No dinner tonight.
Exactly. Sorry, kids. But you're gonna love this new song.
You're gonna dig this one, kids.
All right, well, why don't we play a couple more songs? We'll chat maybe a little bit more about this May 18th CD release party at the Coast. And then I know you guys want to stretch out a little bit at the end, so we'll squeeze it all in. What do we got next?
We're going to play a couple of old standards for us. This first song's called Out of Gas. I've been playing this one since probably 2011 or something. So it's an oldie but a goodie. And then after that is going to be another oldie but a goodie called Walking Out. And these are both available for streaming everywhere. And for repeat loop of this video as well.
Nice. AM Pleasure Assassins here on Live at Lunch.
I'm going to tune real quick.
All right.
Well, if you're going to tune.
Oh, while you're tuning, let me just do this. Let's talk about our crew, our amazing, phenomenal, fantastic crew here behind the scenes. Every week we have Greg Douras and Colton Boening on the sound side of things, and we also had a volunteer, Blake Economist. in for possibly his last time because he graduated and is moving right along. And on the video side today, we have Eric Delano, Dan Perez, and Micah Baird. And they're all doing an amazing job. Thanks so much, guys, for putting so much effort in and making us all look and sound good.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel good. I hope I look as good as I feel.
You look great.
Definitely.
Thank you. Song's called Wooden Sleeves. Can you give me a little count?
No.
This next song's called Walking Out.
alone, we walk together, we walk together, we walk alone, we walk alone, we walk together, we walk together, we walk alone, we walk alone, we walk together, we walk together, we walk alone, we walk alone, we walk together, we walk together, we walk alone.
AM Pleasure Assassins here on Live at Lunch. That was Walking Out. And before that, Out of Gas. And you've got new album coming out May 18th, 2024. CD release Partay at the Coast.
That's right.
Information on that is available at your website, ampleasureassassins.com.
Indeed, indeed.
Or Instagram. I'm sure people can find some lovely information on there. And that's at a.m.pleasureassassins.
Yes.
And so all sorts of information, how to get tickets and all of that. Was there a specific impetus for this album, or was it just like I bought all these pedals, wrote all these songs?
This is a
now I gotta
COVID
put it out?
album for
Okay,
sure.
cool.
I think most of these songs were written in 2020, early 2020. Couple of them started bubbling like maybe late 2019.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I recorded actually most of these songs I recorded myself,
Okay.
just because it was lockdown and I was at home and trying to, stave off insanity. And so, like I said, we had some of these songs sort of pre-written or like at least like the beginnings of them. And then I kind of scraped them together and was sending out demos and things and being like, hey, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this? What if I do this, a little of this, blah, 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 and just, built it all up. Over time, and then it kind of sat in the vault for a minute while I couldn't decide how to release it. Then I remixed it because I had learned a bunch of stuff about production. I do most of our production myself. Cool. So I'd gained some new lessons since I had originally done it, so kind of redid it, had it remastered, and now we have completed this little object of our affection, ready for others' affection.
The content.
Yeah, the content. Creating content masterfully.
Masterfully. So are you? Do you have a studio at home? Then?
Yeah, I have a little spare bedroom studio. Okay. I record other projects and bands here and there. I'm also in a band called Paradise Overtime.
Okay.
And we're pretty heavy on the production side of things. It's like a jazz duo. I play synthesizer and sampler and have a live drummer.
Oh, nice.
And so we get down in the studio, we get down on the stage, and it's kind of two different worlds.
Awesome. Yeah. That's really cool. What's your DAW? What do you like?
Oh, I use Reaper. I feel like it's the platform for the people. So I really like Reaper. I think that's the way to go. It's
Awesome.
It gets the job done, and it doesn't come with a outrageous price tag.
Yeah. Has there been anybody that helps you along the way when you get stuck? Do you have any mentor or anything that kind of?
Usually, if I play something for my girlfriend, it's one of those things. She's not even really a musician, but kind of just having a different set of ears, and maybe even the critique of someone who's not a musician helps a little bit because they're not so wrapped up in what's individually always happening within a track. They
what
can
does it
kind of
sound
give you,
like?
the more overall, I'm just a listener perspective.
Yeah.
And this is what I
That's
think.
good. Get the
and even just having
feedback.
another person in the room listening, I will often hear new things that I did not notice before.
Yeah.
And so just having a different set of ears there allows me to hear new things and
nice.
Figure things out a little bit better.
Awesome. Well, let's. I know you guys wanted to sprawl out. You got 2 songs, kind of bleeding into each other. Got a little spacey jammy going on here, and then a quick couple-minute song to end with. So why don't we say thank you so much to AM Pleasure Assassins for being here today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you guys.
Assassins.
You got me, Justin. I love it. And thanks again to the crew. It was Live at Lunch here on KRFC 88.9 FM. You can watch these guys rock your face on the KRFC RadioVision YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in KRFC or RadioVision or both together, and you'll end up with these beauties in your eyeballs. And it's going to be awesome. I guarantee it. thanks so much for coming in. Why don't we spend this last little bit of time just rocking faces?
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, KRFC. This next song is called Orbital. It will be on our new album. It is instrumental, and it will be available for request at KRFC's studios. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
Thank you. This next song is called Delight, Delight.
Howdy. We got one more song for you. It's another kind of oldie. It's called Cain Was Killing Abel. I wrote it after reading a great book called Ishmael. Yeah, this one came out of that, and just a hard time in life. You know, it's one of those books you read in a certain moment, and you're like, okay, this clicks on so many levels, beyond what the author is even saying. Just speaks to you in different ways. Bibliomancy is like that sometimes.
Yeah. Did you have your very own ape?
I did not have an ape.
No, I didn't have an ape.
I do have a little dog, and he's kind of monkey-like. He's part Ewok, part Bob Weir, part monkey. Yeah, he's cool. He's a Muppet. Come say hi to Digby sometime. He's a good guy. Cain was killing Abel. Wait, I need my capo. Cain Po. And I need a pick. Okay, I'm done wasting time.
Anyone need anything else?
Do it.
Okay.
A sandwich? Let's get sandwiches.
We're like one song away.
One song from a sandwich. Stress 10 more minutes for a miracle. The years have replaced every particle of you, my dear. The glance grew silent. We walked past them, just smiled. Was it worth the wait to grow in silence? If it's waiting every ounce to grow and laugh once grown. Show me the thorn, I'll mimic the thorn. We'll scratch and claw and kiss to my love. We've done no better, no worse. Is it our friends that work first? You run on every detail. You sound so well rehearsed. And all this spit in my mouth can't conjure up enough for me to whisper. I don't want to run forever. Strike the structure, what remains? Soil so fertile, so seed so vain. Such serious leaves carry threshing balls. Noxious, soon to fall and decay. And auto break will clear and restore the earth. Bubbled oily summon to overcome. How to destroy. Creating blooded joy in this life. Dating back to primitive, real belly aching over hard knocks just to keep everything rolling on the clock. Foxes will try to steal our chickens. Thank you, KRFC. We are the AM Pleasure Assassins, and it has been a pleasure to be here in this AM.
Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch, and thank you to the Music District here in the heart of Fort Collins, Colorado. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email our music director, David Vacek, at david@krfcfm.org.